These attempts to re-establish Indian influence in Afghanistan are often covered up as a medicinal aid or wheat supply to the region so that the Indian government would get a free hand to trade with Afghanistan without any sanctions or restrictions in the guise of sending aid. The aim to recommence the terrorism against Pakistan and Iran via funding and armament supply. Hello, this is 𝐍𝐞𝐰𝐬 and you're watching White News. The Washington Post report of 3rd January 2022 states that India is involved in the blatant espionage of Iran. In the climate of international sanctions, Iran had been attempting to stabilize its economy by covertly supplying oil to Somalia via Dubai. But this was not for long, for the Indian espionage of Iran revealed this development on the global stage. It is worth noting that in the past, in the tenure of Afghanistan's Ashraf Ghani, India used Afghanistan as a base for creating insurgencies in both Pakistan and Iran. But with the advent of the new Afghan government, the Indian BJP has been trying to re-establish its once strong foothold in Afghanistan. These attempts to re-establish Indian influence in Afghanistan are often covered up as a medicinal aid or wheat supply to the region so that the Indian government would get a free hand to trade with Afghanistan without any sanctions or restrictions in the guise of sending aid. The aim to recommence the terrorism against Pakistan and Iran via funding and armament supply. So far, none of these nefarious Indian plans have come to fruition as the new Afghan government has refused to grant access to India for such trade routes. In a situation where the United States has frozen Afghanistan's asset and a country like India is on the lookout for terrorist groups to take advantage of the economic crisis in Afghanistan and use it to destabilize the Afghan government, then it becomes pertinent for the world to come forward and end the economic crisis in Afghanistan. Because if the economic crisis in Afghanistan is not resolved, it will create a gap which will be filled by the terrorist forces and the drug mafia. India is trying its best to take advantage of this crisis in Afghanistan. India seeks to bring more Israeli agents into Afghanistan disguised as Afghans. According to the United Nations Relief Web Program, nearly 500,000 Afghans entered Iran in 2021. With the advent of a new government in Afghanistan, while the Bharatiya Janata Party of India is facing difficulties in carrying out terrorism in the neighboring countries, the drug businesses of the Brahmin capitalists of the Bharatiya Janata Party has also been severely affected, due to which the ruling party of New Delhi and the Congress government in the Maharashtra is engaged in a fierce battle over the drug business.
More breaking inputs coming in. BJP cites Times Now's news break. BJP leader Ram Kadam has now demanded that Khatri's role in the mafia nexus, the drug Bollywood mafia nexus, needs to be investigated. Says must eradicate Bollywood drug nexus.
At present, the world leaders must work to resolve the emerging humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan as soon as possible, because Afghanistan is plunged into the civil war again due to the hunger and poverty.